Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And what's so interesting is that sometimes there are subjects that I think are very interesting, which nobody will talk about. Nobody will talk about AI or this and that, CBDC. But have you this one? This is going to be really something, and I mean that when you start seeing robots in warfare, did you hear what some of the robots are doing right now? Some of the weapons and the it's been reported some of these drones that are being used by various forces. They're finding out that a drone, if made of balsa, is indetectable to any type of device, any kind of radar-like device. So I've always been fascinated about the notion of weapons. Weapons, as you know, weapons in warfare, by the way. I know this is terrible, this is ungodly, but there's something fascinating about weapons. There's a Time magazine piece. I'm not a big Time fan, but this is called The Rise of the AI Soldiers, and it's robots. And when you look at things, first and foremost, how about Sun Tzu? Notice how I say that? Sun Tzu is, they say, he's brilliant. You must, and he basically says the obvious things. Deceive the enemy, sneak attack, don't come after them when they think you're ready, show them who's boss, find out where they are, and sneak up on them. Thank you, Sun Tzu. I would have never thought about that had you not told me this. But there's something about warfare that I find interesting. A couple of things like the terrain. Whenever I hear boots on the ground, I'm thinking, oh, no. Oh, my God. That's always like the famous last words. Have you ever thought about what would happen if somebody dared attack, let's say, New York, okay? New York City. And let's assume that people who normally would not necessarily be cooperative, who wouldn't necessarily get along, because this is there's a lot of polarization here. Not necessarily just because of Mom Donnie, but still, others. And do you think that maybe there would be a sense of camaraderie where people would join forces and say, you know what, we may not get along usually, but by God, when it comes to this, I'm there for you. And what I'm trying to say is, can you imagine, just think, where we said, ladies and gentlemen, I need every able-bodied New Yorker, white, black, brown, Catholic, Muslim, Jewish, it doesn't matter because we're being attacked by X, some extraterrestrial. We all have to work together. As the great Cam Fong as Chin Ho said, we're all in this together, brother. Could you imagine a more formidable group of people than New Yorkers if we had to say, we'll let you bring your gun and we're all working together just for this week? And we'd say, okay, let's put our differences aside and let's work together. Ronald Reagan talked about that all the time. But when it comes to warfare, I told you, the biggest thing that happened initially was the longbow. It separated combatants. It made people able to sit back, put a bow in their hand, so to speak, fire it over long distances, and never having to see the people involved, never being able to actually see or appreciate those individuals involved. You see what I'm saying? That's the part. That's the part that's interesting. It separated us. We didn't have to go and look somebody in the eye and smell them and tussle with them. We could be long distances away. And thenceforward, everything changed. War became very, very depersonalized. Gadgetry, guns, slingshots, these not pole vaults, you know what I'm saying. And then I asked a question one time regarding warfare because I love I hate war itself, but I love the operational aspects of it. And somebody said, What device would have changed everything during the Civil War? What is it? Would it be artillery? What would it be? What would be that one additional aspect of it? Robots? Nah. Aircraft? Nah. Machine guns? No. The repeating rifle? What? A walkie-talkie. A walkie-talkie would have done more than anything available. Nobody could even cooperate. Nobody could even communicate, I should say. It's fascinating. So then we're going to go completely, because be very, very careful when you have Peter Thiel and those folks at Palantir say, we'll target we'll go after them. Don't worry. We'll figure out our own algorithm why certain targets should be hit. Be very, very, very careful with that. It's a fascinating subject. I can't say it enough, and I shan't. But robots? Oh, my God. Robots? Think of what a robot will do in the case of riots, of a robot like General Dynamics that cannot be knocked down, that looks kind of sort of like a human, that has that uncanny valley aspect of it. And when we relinquish our control, our command and control of warfare to robots, it's all over, my friends.